Hello everybody, it's Spooky, back with another Stadium build. This Zenyatta build is called the Old Fashioned. This build is great for just about all scenarios. It's got a great balance of weapon power, ability power, and survivability. It doesn't require any special kind of preparation to do, so this is something you can just copy the code with and just start playing right away. Let's go through it. So round one, you're going to grab Inner Peace. This is going to give you your own personal Harmony Orb that does 75% reduced healing. Even though this does have less healing than the regular Harmony Orbs, this is going to get a lot of constant value and is going to be useful in round two when we buy another item. Start out the game by grabbing Armored Vest, Power Playbook, and Compensator. Again, this is going to balance out your ability power, weapon power, and survivability for the early game. Come round two, make sure you grab Plasma Converter, and then you'll probably have enough credits to grab Crusader Hydraulics. This is going to be the first item that you really need to make sure you get. This is going to give you 25 armor and give you 10% weapon damage reduction while you have that armor available. Now, this works twofold because as long as you have armor, you're actually getting weapon reduction just for having that armor. Just like how armor normally works, you're going to have that as long as you have that armor stacked up. So even with all your shields on top of that, it still does the damage reduction with the flat armor. And then on top of that, you also get 10% reduced weapon damage. So this is a fantastic item specifically for Zenyatta because he comes stocked with so many shields. Then if you can, make sure to grab Advanced Nanobiotics. Now, if you can't grab this round two, don't worry. Just grab it round three. This is an extremely good item for Zenyatta. This gives him 5% flat weapon power, and then after healing an ally, he gains 10% attack speed for 3 seconds. This procs on your healing orb for either an ally or your personal healing orb as well. And when I tell you, this is just always procced. You're always going to be getting this 10% weapon speed for Zenyatta. So it's very good to stack that on top of your weapon power that you get on this. So just put it on there, make sure you have orbs ready to go, and this is basically always going to be going for you. So we'll grab that. Then come round three, we're going to be grabbing Enlightenments. So this is where allies affected by Harmony Orb are healed for 35% of the damage you deal. At this point, we can start upgrading as we go. You can switch out Compensator for custom stock if you'd like, and if you can also switch out Power Playbook for Satya's Solution. This is going to give you 10% movement speed, and it's going to increase the radius of your Transcendence for every 1 second. Now, the increased radius is good. It's going to help with the healing, especially when you're getting in these large team fights, so you don't have to move around as much to max out your healing. But the real thing is getting that 10% move speed is going to up Zenyatta's survivability by making him harder to track and easier for you to rotate out of bad situations. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the best Zenyatta items. I think every single Zen build I've done has this in there because it just increases your survivability by having such constant move speed and also stacking up your ability power as well. For 4,000 credits, fantastic item. Then probably by round four, you're probably going to be able to upgrade to your first purple item, and that's going to be Phantasmic Flux. I recommend getting this out the gate, especially anytime you have any kind of split build between weapon power and ability power. Phantasmic Flux is such a powerful ability for you to grab. So you're going to get the 10% weapon power, you're going to get 10% ability power, and then 15% of your weapon lifesteal to help with your survivability. And then on top of that, while you're at full health, you can stack up to 100 over health to increase your survivability going into another engagement. Now, right now, you're not going to have any ability lifesteal on Zenyatta because you're not doing any ability damage to anybody, so this isn't going to do anything for you up until round 7. But the reason I still have this on is because it's such a good value for the lifesteal, the ability power, the weapon power, and the overhealth. This is still a fantastic item to grab. Then on round 5, we're going to grab Soul Control. Now at this point, you have some options on what you can do here. So we're going to sell Armored Vest, and then you can either grab a few things depending on what your playstyle is and how the match is going. If you feel like you're surviving pretty well and you just want to maybe up the healing for your team a little bit, you can grab Super Flexor. This is going to give you a little bit more survivability, 10% weapon power, and up to 25% increased ability power, which will increase the healing of your allies' healing orb and your personal healing orb. Now, the only reason I'm saying you might want to not get this, depending on what you're running against, if you feel like, especially against shield tanks, if you feel like it's tough for you to proc the weapon damage to get this added ability power, because how Super Flexor works is every time you do weapon damage, you gain an additional 5% ability power up to 25%, and that'll last for 3 seconds before it completely resets if you don't do any damage. So if you feel like there's times in a fight where you're really getting denied doing damage on an enemy, then maybe not grab this if you feel like you're not going to be able to proc this that much or proc it enough to get good value out of it. You can usually grab Orb of Perception. This is also a really good value item if you have the credits for this. 15% weapon power, 50% ability power, flat. Now, obviously, having Discord targets revealed is a nice added perk, but I really just grabbed this for the added weapon power and ability power. So if you really don't know if you're going to be able to proc that, or maybe, you just have bad aim, nothing wrong with that. There's people out there that can aim well. There's people out there that can't aim well. So if you feel like you won't be able to proc Super Flexor, grab Orb of Perception. Now, if you're a little bit more of maybe an advanced player that knows how to use abilities really well and really efficiently, I do recommend grabbing Vanadium Injection if you feel comfortable grabbing this. This is going to be an ability that, especially using with Soul Control here, is going to be procced a lot. At least enough to make it really worth your time. So how Vanadium Injection works is you get 50 shields flat, no matter what, anything, like you don't have to proc anything, you just always get 50 shields. And then while at 100% ultimate charge, you get 50 health, 10% weapon power, 10% ability power, 10% attack speed, 10% cooldown reduction, which doesn't apply to Zenyatta at all, so don't worry about that. But you also get 10% move speed. So everything else, very, very strong for Zenyatta to have. And with Soul Control, if you're able to just do flashes of your ultimate, which is usually how you use Soul Control to make sure it goes down to maybe that 75% again, or 65 or 50, wherever it is, that means you're going to be at 100% ult charge quite a lot. So if you feel comfortable grabbing Vanadium Injection, I recommend grabbing it. I always usually grab this or Super Flexor. If I can't proc Super Flexor, I usually grab Vanadium Injection. But again, Orb of Perception is a great middle ground. If you just want to grab something, it's going to get value regardless. But again, with Vanadium Injection, you want to make sure that you're actually holding your ultimate a little bit. You're getting value from that. Now, that doesn't mean hold your ultimate when you need to use it. Still use your ultimate when you need to use it. This shouldn't discourage you from using it. It's just there to give you extra value when you do have 100% ult charge. And typically when you're playing Zenyatta, you're usually holding your Transcendence for a big, maybe enemy ultimate to counter, or a moment where your team really is like maybe midway through a fight and they need that extra healing to win the rest of it. So still use it there when you need it. This is just to give you that extra power while you're at that 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and lock Vanadium Injection. Round 6, we can keep upgrading here. Probably at this point, you can sell custom stock. I would keep Advanced Nanobiotics and Crusader Hydraulics. These are just two, and Satya's Solution, as long as you can before you start upgrading these. If you have to choose between all of them, make sure you keep Crusader Hydraulics till the very last as your blue item, as you're upgrading blues to purples. So I definitely keep that one there the most. And Satya's Solution for survivability. These two, you can switch out early. Like, I'm going to switch out custom stock here, probably with Orb of Perception. Let's say I'm playing against a Reinhardt or a Sigma. I'm going to grab Orb of Perception here and upgrade to that. And that'll probably take me to round 6. Now, round 7, we're going to grab Discord Fever. Now, since we've already scaled up our ability power a little bit, this is just going to give us some really easy ability damage to do as we're discording targets. This is just going to get consistent value no matter what comp you're playing against. This is just a good item to get. And as the old-fashioned works, it's something you can run every game and know that you're doing a pretty solid build, no matter what the use case is here. So let's grab Discord Fever. And then if we have a little bit more points, like I said, I'll probably keep Crusader Hydraulics, probably no matter what. Until maybe I want to upgrade to like maybe Rüstung von Wilhelm, which is like a really good survivability damage reduction item. But we're gonna get rid of Advanced Nanobiotics finally, and we are probably going to upgrade a damage. Right? We want to keep our damage by replacing this. So we're gonna go back to here, and at this point, you really can upgrade into whatever damage you may need. If you're running against like an Orisa, you might grab Codebreaker. If you're running against a lot of flyers, you might grab Aerial Distressor. If you just want to like get some solid damage against Rhine Shields, you might do like Booster Jets, or Eye of the Spider just to get some more weapon damage. So all these are choices you can have that you can upgrade into. Just make sure when you're looking at these, you're thinking about how you're going to be getting value in which of these items is going to help the most in what you're trying to do. So typically, I'd probably end up getting like Booster Jets or Eye of the Spider. These are just going to get flat out value just about everywhere for Zenyatta. So we'll grab Booster Jets here. And this is probably looking like what my end game build might look like. And I'm really happy with this. We've got Crusader Hydraulics for our survivability and damage reduction. We've got Satya's Solution for additional move speed, flat out. We've got Phantasmic Flux to help our survivability and all across the board with weapon damage, ability powers, lifesteal. It's a very great item. Vanadium Injection to really beef us up when we have 100% all charge. Aura Perception, again, for flat out weapon power and ability power increase. And then Booster Jets to just give us some more speed on our weapon as we're shooting. So it's pretty good items all around. Again, you can replace Booster Jets with just about anything. Obviously, this won't really proc, because when you use Zenyatta doesn't really have any abilities to practice unless you get the kick power. But I like the 20% weapon speed that it comes with flat out. But you can grab just about anything to replace that. As far as weapon damage, if you're dying a lot, maybe go more into survivability with Meditation Mat. This is also a great one because you have some ability power stacked on top of this. So just, this is definitely a flex item slot that you can grab something else with. But that's going to be how the old fashioned works. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. If you have any changes that you make to it, I'd love to see what you guys do. Drop your build codes in the comments or some replay codes. Love to check out your gameplay. We might even react to it for some videos coming up here shortly. So we'll love to see what you got. But yeah, so we're probably going to transition now into a game so we can actually see this Zenyatta gameplay in action. And I'll do a little talk through as I play through. So let's get to that. All right, so we are in a game now with Zenyatta. We have a Reinhardt is our tank. Let's see what we're running up against. We got Zarya, Freya, Ashe, Lucio, and Mercy. So we're probably going to have some flyers here. I might actually even consider grabbing some aerial distressor at some point, just because I know we're going to be shooting things in the air more often. So what I'll probably look to do there is just about that. So, but starting out, we're going to grab, go to the old fashioned. We grab our inner piece, grab our armored vest, power playbook, compensator. Just start out nice and easy. So this is gonna be kind of a weird comp to play against, but basically, like, you're just gonna have to pay attention a little bit more. We'll see what playstyle we're gonna be running here. Mercy's most likely gonna be pocketing, obviously, either the Freya or the Ashe, so it's gonna be high damage, very high damage. So if I'm going down quick, I might invest a little bit into survivability going forward, or even maybe if the Lucio's like trying to dive me a little bit. But like with Zarya, I'll probably just try to play outside of her range so much so I don't have to worry about her beam too much. But that's really my biggest concerns right now, are probably the Lucio and the burn damage from the Ashe in the Freya's burst damage. So we'll see what we got here. So I'll just throw out a Discord here to get started. Here's the Lucio. We can already see he's going for the dive. So we'll just keep him Discord when he comes in and just keep an eye on where he's going. So yeah, he's going big dives here. So you can see our armor's already helping us out with that armored vest early game. So we actually do get the damage reduction from armor. As long as we have shields on top of it, we should be fine. Let's see if we can live here. Keep pressuring that Lucio away from us. And our biggest goal here is to live. Now, obviously, we are going to want to heal, but like, if we can't really do much if we don't live. So, and if the thing is if they're diving us and we're living through it, they're just wasting their time. So we're actually going to get more value on the front line as long as they can live through that. So don't fret too much about it if you see that your team's critical, especially when you're playing Zem. Don't worry about it too much. If you are getting pressured, your first priority is going to be to live. Just don't die. That's like the #1 rule for most Overwatch characters, is like, play your life first. If you play your life, you typically play much smarter. Or much more smart. If you're more concerned about your own safety, you tend to play much more safely, which means that you're going to exist longer. Typically what I see of like lower ranked players is that they don't really value their life as much. They worry more about their teammates' lives. And this is kind of a game where it's like you really got to make sure that you're holding your weight by living, you're existing as long as possible until it's like inevitable that you're going to die, right? So like at that moment when I was like in there and I got heavily pressured like that, not much I could do about that. Obviously there's things I could have changed, but like my goal there is to live, is to just exist as long as possible. Keep my healing orbs up. Discord, I don't necessarily have to kill the Lucio. It's obviously great if I can, but like as long as I keep him off me and off my backline, I'm getting value by doing that. So thinking like that is a really good way to kind of get an idea of how Overwatch works, and Stadium more in particular, is that your value doesn't always translate to a number. A lot of times it's pressure. A lot of times it's denying angles so your team can more effectively pressure the enemy. So that's kind of what we were doing there. We're just making sure we live. So Especially like taking a look at the enemy comp early is a great way to get an idea of what might happen. Now that doesn't mean that's exactly what's gonna happen, but there's chances, right? I'm thinking about if the Lucio is aggressive, right? Or if he's just speeding his Zarya around. If he's going on the back line, I need to make sure that I'm playing in a way that my team can support me if I get dived by Lucio. With the Freya, with the Ashe, making sure I don't peek long sight lines if I'm not trying to kill them, so I'm not taking random damage from them. So, all right, let's go back to the old fashioned. Let's finish out. We got Crusader Hydraulics we're grabbing first. Then we don't have enough to grab this, so I'm just gonna grab Weapon Grease just to give us something else to fill that in for the slot for now. But going into round 2, we're gonna probably do the same thing. I can guarantee you this Lucio is going to be trying to dive us just about all game. So we're gonna see how that plays out. If I feel like I'm losing the 1v1s against Lucio, I might go a little bit more into survivability as well, right? To make it to where if he tries to pressure me, I'm gonna live longer, and as long as I have Discord on him, it's gonna make it much more likely in my favor that I'm gonna win, right? So the longer the engagement between me and Lucio, the more chances I'm gonna have to win that fight. So you can see he's already going in here, so we'll play close to my team and just pressure him out. Keep that Discord when he goes in, right? Because he's trying to make sure that I'm not paying attention to him before he goes in, like that. So the moment I throw that Discord on him, he's going to get that pressure. Yeah, he goes down here. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Now this Ashe, I'm probably going to die to fire, but we got our healing orb, thank God. And I'm just going to live, right? First priority is make sure I live, right? My team can handle themselves, right? They're big boys. So I'll throw a healing orb when I can, but if I don't feel like it's safe to do so, I'm not going to peek that. And just like that, the reason we were able to get that pick is because we live there. I think I might drop. Let's see if the Zarya chases me down here. She probably does. Yep. So I'll ping them all down there, just to let my team know that they're rotating through under. All right, 85 to trance. We're a little bit staggered from our team, so we're going to take a little angle here, remember? Just want to make sure that they're running 2 long-range DPS, so we don't want to exist too long in their sight lines if they are trying to actively pressure us. There's our orb. Okay, we didn't get our Transcendence in time, so just completely fine. Not much you can do there. Rotate back to respawn, make sure we get a quick regroup with our team. Probably can pop this here soon. I'm gonna do this now just because our soldier is a little staggered. I really don't want to have another staggered fight, so there you go. Nice Discord there. This will work out. Cool, works great. So I think with their tank down, they're probably not going to be investing many ults, so we can probably take this fight. Their Lucio comes in, throw that Discord on him. So you're going to see me Discording that Lucio a lot. That's probably one of the easiest values I can get with Discord right now. Is anytime he tries to go through those flanks, just immediately throw Discord on him, and it's going to pressure him out from the fight. So he's probably not going to take a hard engagement when he's Discorded. So like right now, I'm watching him. Let him know I'm watching him. There's your Discord, buddy. That's fine. And I don't mind just completely focusing on him, because right, that's a 1-to-1 trade. As long as Lucio's not doing anything, and it's because I'm watching him, that's completely fine. I don't need to worry about making sure I'm Discording other people or shooting the front line. I'm getting a nice net even value, and they're completely losing value from their Lucio because he's completely in the back line. So I'm negating him completely, and I have Harmony Orb on the front line. So like, technically, when you think about it, I'm getting more value than that Lucio, as long as he doesn't get to do anything. So that's kind of like thinking like a net zero mentality of like how Overwatch works. Because a lot of players are scared to do that. They're like, okay, well, now that Lucio's gone, I need to start shooting the front line again. Like, no, you really don't have to. As long as the Lucio's not doing much, you're getting a 1-to-1 value by denying him completely. So he goes in those aggressive front lines, and I just throw that Discord on Lucio. I might go down here. No, I'm good. Yeah, we're chilling. And he's back. He gets that res, so we've almost got Transcendence. I'll probably pop it just because this fight's staggered out. They probably do have Grav, though, again, so now I'm thinking about that. I'm probably just going to hold it for Grav, just in case if we need to. Yeah, so that works out real nicely. So there's our round 2. We brought that back nicely. So we'll see. This seems like an actually pretty even match. But we are, I'd say we're doing a pretty amount of heavy lifting as Zenyatta right now. Credits won't show it, but you guys can see how much denial we're doing on that Lucio, and the value we're getting from our Discord is paying off really well. And our survivability is paying off too, so we're not going down to Lucio, so we're good. We can invest more in ability power. We can invest more in weapon power since we're not dying a bunch. So let's get back to our build, old fashioned. We're going to grab Enlightenment. This is going to give us the 35% damage, healing for ourselves and for our orb targets. And then we're going to grab Advanced Nanobiotics. Remember, this is going to be procced just about all the time, so you really don't have to worry about this at all. Got 7K left. At this point, I'm probably just going to start upgrading. Let's grab Power Playbook, advance that to Custom Stock, Sellout Compensator, get Satya's Solution. So now we're going to have some pretty solid movement. We're going to have some really solid ability power and some higher weapon power as well. So we haven't upgraded our survivability. We still have the little bit armored vest on here though, so I'm going to keep that. And Plasma Converter for lifesteal, and we get our self-healing orb. So we've got a lot going for us as far as survivability goes. Now all we have to do is just play safe and play smart, and that's really the essence of what we have to do here. Zenyatta is definitely one of those heroes where you want to make sure you live as long as possible. Discord is such a powerful ability, so like as long as you can keep that Discord out in the fight longer and your healing orbs, you're just getting crazy value. That's why he's typically one of the most like dive targets, because he does impact fights so much. Now obviously he's not like super mobile, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like you got to knock out that Zenyatta early or your team's gonna lose that fight. So that's why I'm so concerned about living. And you can see our survivability here. Discord that Lucio immediately. Ping that Zarya behind. I'm gonna rotate outside just a little bit. Now this is kind of weird being here. I'm gonna try to rotate back before we die to that Freya. Get his healing orb out. Discord that Zar. And there goes our Rhine. We're gonna keep rotating back. Remember, playing our life. So we don't need to be a hero. We don't need to do anything crazy. We just need to get a quick regroup with our team and then just keep discording. Oh, that's a huge move, actually. That might go down to that. Oh, yeah, I definitely do. That was a really good move. And this is why you watch out for where Lucio is. All right, so we can't do those cheeky little things there. So our Rhine's in. Looks like we're going to have a staggered push. I might wait a little bit because we don't have any ultimates. I'm just going to go for a little pick maybe. See, that's why you don't get staggered there. You really got to wait for like a full touch when we're in this weird situation here. And now we're down our... Yeah, so I'll go for a last second touch. Not much I can do though. So this is why, that's a prime essence of why you definitely want to use the timer to your advantage until you're really ready for a full team fight. That's like a lot of people will think that they need to jump on point right away. Just wait for a good solid fight. You know, if you're not a tank, you really do gotta wait for at least like a good ultimate to touch, or like your tank to get back, you know. Hold that off until the very last second to give yourself more options. So yeah, that was definitely a fight that we could have like gotten a really solid team fight on, but DPS got a little impatient. So all right, round 4 is what we're looking at now. So we've got a good matchup, so I like this. Let's go back to old fashioned. We've got all of our blue items, so now we get to upgrade to our purple items. And obviously the first one I recommend, Phantasmic Flux. It's going to get us our 10% weapon power, 10% ability power, 50% weapon lifesteal, and our overhealth of 100. Remember, we're not getting any ability lifesteal until we get to round 7 with our Discord Fever. But again, it's not really that big of a deal for us because we're getting most of our value from that weapon lifesteal, the overhealth, and the weapon and ability power that we get from that. So we'll grab that. Everything else looks pretty good, so we're ready to go. All right, let's see how round 4 goes. Okay, so still keep an eye on that Lucio. Yep, definitely back here. Immediately, that was my first thought, was where's that Lucio? And you can bet he's going to be on that flank. He's going to be doing it again. Yep, there we go. So as long as I can keep denying that, I'm probably just going to keep throwing it on that Lucio. So especially with our high burst damage, as long as he's discorded, he'll go down very quickly. And again, he's not really getting any value with this team as long as I deny him from doing anything. So it's a really good trade-off. Where survivability is helping us out here quite a bit. And I don't mind turning completely for that Lucio. Every single time. There you go, and he's gone. Almost got our Transcendence. Might need to pop it depending on how our pressure goes on our Ryan. It looks like he's getting healed up a little bit. He's playing passively, so I can hold it, which is awesome. Love that. He's aware that we're down our support, so that's huge. And remember, I'm kind of setting up for the next fight. Now that Lucio's spawned, he's probably... Yep, there he is. So every time, that's my first thought. We're kind of identifying our highest value. There's that. Don't know if I want to pop my Transcendence just yet, since they have grab. So we do give up point here, but hopefully we can bring this back. That's a huge pick there. Try to keep our boy up. You see the Lucio. Keep the Discord on him. He's one. He's down. It's awesome. There we go. Okay, so now they're going to have grab. It's a good thing we held Transcendence. It was a nice retake. Our team actually did a really good job backing up there. Stabilizing and then being able to wait for that pick that we got, which is huge. So let's look for this Zarya grab. Just make sure we're alive to Transcendence it. That's our big one. I'm actually going to throw that on Mercy for a sec. So she's playing so up. And she's probably going to grab like right here. So there's Bob. Uh-oh. I'm going to pop this now. Remember, I want to make sure that I live. Now, she is going to have a free grab after this, so I got to make sure I rotate out of it. There we go. She might try to res that Ashe. Maybe I can sit on it and kick it. Oh, lordy. I'm dead. Yep. Damn, I had to get that reload off. Okay, but she popped grab, which is awesome. So they're not going to have that for next fight, which is great. Yeah, this is one of those moments where it's like, yes, I hold Transcendence for grab, but if I die, we don't have res. So it's like, if I die, it's the same thing as this completely wasting Transcendence. So I kind of have to think like that. It's like, okay, I'm out of position. I'm getting a lot of damage right now. I need to pop this Trance to live. So it's one of those moments where you really don't just get to hold on to your ultimate. So we're almost back to another one though. So kind of popped off there a little bit. Remember, pop that Discord on the Lucio. Our Junkrat goes down. Let's pop this. Probably going to be close to our last fight here. And there goes our run. All right, all right, all right. Oh, and we have, sorry, they have a lever. Interesting. Okay, can we touch this? I don't know if we can. Our soldier was close to touching, but that's fine. So you can see we still got a lot of value there. Hopefully they come back for this. Either way, I'm going to be posting this whether it's a win or a loss. You guys can see we're getting a lot of value as Zen here, so I don't really need to worry about this looking like a good game, right? So hopefully they do come back. I love making sure we have a nice even match when we're talking about this stuff so we can kind of see how it evolves into the end game a little bit. 5. So we're going to be grabbing Soul Control. Now, the nice thing about this is that this is going to help us out a lot. You can see how many times that I need to pop Transcendence because we're getting a little bit low or I'm getting forced out of position. I'm taking a lot of damage. This is going to help us a lot in that I can use it and then get it back again very quickly so it's ready to go with like the Zarya grab or like when the big fight happens. So we're going to grab that Soul Control. At this point, I feel pretty comfortable. In grabbing Vanadium Injection. I wouldn't grab Super Flexor because they are running the Zarya. They're running more of like a dive. I'm not going to be able to stack up that Super Flexor all the way. It's not like they're running a beefy tank to keep that procced all the time. So I'm probably going to grab Vanadium Injection here. This is going to help me a lot. And I'm going to be sitting on my Trance a little bit more. So at least I'm going to be more raid bossy at that point. With this, I don't know if we have enough. We don't have anything enough to sell to grab Orb Perception, but I'm still going to grab something else. So this is something that's not in the build. I'm probably going to grab Aerial Distressor just to help us, especially with the Lucio and the Freya and the Mercy. This is going to be really good. to pressure them out. And obviously you can tell we're spending a lot of time on Lucio. So this is going to add some crazy pressure to Lucio anytime we hit a shot on them. So this is going to be really good. All right. Round 5. Let's see what we got here. Remember, first thought, Lucio. He's probably going to be coming from the right. Just make sure we position around for that. Keep aware where he's at. Get some spam, but he's definitely coming from somewhere. So we just got to keep an eye on where he's. There he is. I discord him right away, so he can't get any good pressure. Looks like he's playing a little bit more frontline now. He's probably a little bit more scared. Oh, they still have a lever. So he's probably playing a little bit closer to their team now, since yeah, he's the only healer now. So there goes their Lucio. Oh, I'm actually dead here. Yeah, so now that their Mercy's gone, he's going to be playing a lot closer to his team, which means I can discord some other people as well. So maybe even the Zarya sword tank can pressure him. So there's that. Oof. A little bit of weird damage there. So this is going to be much more traditional Zenyatta gameplay, right? Just sit in the back, throw out some orbs, throw out some damage. Just put this on a Rhine for a little bit. It's the discord on the Lucio. Force him out for a little bit. He waits out the discord. Coming up on our Transcendence. Now you're going to see this Vanadium injection proc a little bit and give us some more speed immediately. That's going to be the most noticeable thing that happens. So he's cooked. So now you can see we're moving much quicker with Vanadium injection procs like this. So I'm going to hold on to this for a little bit. Unless I, like, for sure need it. There we go. Uh-oh. There you go. Yeah, I want to invest a little bit in taking some shots, but the moment I'm able to do it, I'm just, like, getting pressured by that Freya. So I will say this team is putting up quite a fight for having 4 people. Especially with this dive. So Lucio's still doing his thing back here, though. I don't think we need Transcendence for it just yet. There we go. I'll probably pop this here. And I'm actually going to flash it like now, so I'm going to cancel it. So I actually get to keep half of my ultimate. So I held it for that for that grab, and then we pop it back a little bit. So if you're thinking about how to use it, that's a great time. Once that grab's done and we can move again, as long as we're like stabilized, that's gonna be fine. So just missed a trap Lucio, by the way. Oh, can we make it? Oh, so close. All right, coming on to this fight. They're actually in the lead right now, which is impressive. Let's burn that bomb. Maybe not. Oh my god, we're actually probably gonna lose a 4v5. That's crazy. And their 5th is back. Okay, cool. This gives us a chance to actually like get some good value in here. So I think my team probably just got a little too cocky there. They were going down very quick. So we'll see. The Freya's doing some solid damage though. You can see 10. Oh my god, 10k from the Freya and 10k from the Ashe. That's insane, man. That's crazy. So they're eating up my Reinhardt right now. I think is what the issue is. They're running 2 very good spam damage, and our Reinhardt doesn't really have any speed to match up with that. So, which is fine though. So again, we're going to leave Crusader Hydraulics for the very end. We're probably going to switch out custom stock here. And I think at this point we have enough for, yep, Orb Perception. So we're going to upgrade to that. We'll keep the Vanadium injection as well. I think we're going to need some of that buffs there. And hopefully this fight's a little bit more even now. All right. Oh my god, yeah. Wait, the Freya has 63,000 credits. She's about 20k over everybody else. So I think we can see what the issue is here right now, at least with the spam damage. So I think our front lines are struggling with that. Now I might try to discord the Freya a little bit more and pressure that. As long as I can keep up with the Lucio. The Lucio is still my main priority. That's where I'm going to be getting the most value. So I don't want to switch my priorities completely, because then I'll really be throwing the game. I just got to hope maybe where I can find some opportunities to help my team a little bit. To keep pressuring that Lucio anytime he goes on the flank. Make sure we get some shots in there. Yeah, our Ryan's just getting bullied, man. Oh yeah, he's getting bullied. I don't know. I honestly don't know if we're going to be able to win this. I can definitely try, though. I can definitely try. So if I can maybe get a surprise kill on maybe the Ashe. Then pressure the Mercy out. Okay, she gets that res. That's fine. We'll rotate this out. Try to get him to get off our front line a little bit. I'm gonna go for it again, actually. Almost got my Transcendence. Ooh, can I live it? Can I live it? Oh, thank God. Okay, we've got Transcendence. If they push us, then we can trans. Let's get trance there. Let's try to get in their back line. Nice. So we opened that fight up a little bit. I think what we needed there, which is why I kind of waited to go for that off angle, is just to kind of spread out their spam a little bit. They're way too focused right now because we're kind of playing stacked or like vertically with each other. So they don't really have to turn around. They're really efficient at doling out that spam damage. So kind of taking these off angles is probably what I'm going to do. Because I think even if we pressure the Lucio out, the Freya is still going to eat our Reinhardt up. So let's try to keep her pressured a little bit. You can see her on the flank. There you go. Fortunate reload. Let me try to get the Mercy. Is Lucio pressured? Almost got my Transcendence again. Let's pop this. Get over there. And I can cancel it again. Pressure out the Zarya. Maybe keep our Junkrat up. This might be really good. We've got him well and staggered right now, so we can actually probably win this fight. Keep a Discord on that Freya. There we go. Huge. So I think we just needed to give our team a little bit of confidence, right? And rattle the enemy team a little bit. And I think us taking that off angle really did rattle them a little bit, because they have not been able to get their footing since that. Get out of here. Sure, Discord Bob. He's gone. Almost got my Transcendence again. And I'm going to pop this. Can't save our Junkrat just because of the angle. I think we're good. They're not really doing much more damage, so I'm going to save 60% of that. I'm probably dead here. Oh, I'm definitely dead here. Yep. Yep, that was a huge boob. Big slam, perhaps. Oh, I almost got the charge there. So our soldier's got to pop it off, though. We actually got time here. Nice. This is a good jump. It's a good jump. Oh, huge picks from our soldier. Nice carry. So at 15%, all we got to do is live, kind of. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it for the touch, though. We've got enough people there. I can hope. There you go. Big touch. Big touch. Nice. There you go. Just got another Transcendence here. Let's pop it. There you go. I'm probably just going to use all of it because I don't think we're going to be getting it back in time, so. Oh, they're cooked. Oh my God, they're all cooked. Am I cooked? Maybe. She definitely wants the pick. Oh my Lord. Crazy fight, though. Crazy fight. Okay, so we take the L here, but I think it's pretty good. You guys can pretty much see how much value it can get. Obviously, you're going to have some L's in there. This game is completely based on MMR, so they're going to be like, they're going to be 50-50 matches. A lot of times you can't really do much. So, but you can see it was a lot of fun. A lot of value that we got from that one. 65k credits is where we ended up with. Our Ryan was struggling, man. I just think he couldn't really do much, you know. Against that comp, there's just not much you can do as a Reinhardt. So if you're not running like a speed, especially like a charge build, you're just standing there with shield and he's just going to die. So it's unfortunate, but fun game regardless. Huge value from the build, I would say, that we got. You guys saw it, so it's fantastic. But yeah, try out this build. You guys can kind of get an idea of how I'm going to change out my items depending on what I'm playing and stuff like that. So the build code obviously is in the video. It's in the description as well, so make sure you grab that on your way out. Make sure to like the video on your way out, and we'll see you on the next build guide, dude. So try this one out. Let me know what you guys think of it. It's gonna be a ton of fun. So all right, see you later. Peace.